I'm Lindsay Callahan. I'm 41 years old, and I had mitral valve repair surgery 4.5 years ago. Before surgery, I became a mom of Addison and Matthew, my 2 children. We are a very active family. We love playing sports and activities together, and I'm part of a huge Italian family. With my first pregnancy, I had complications. 2 years later, when I decided that I wanted to try to get pregnant again, my OBGYN was able to do some testing, and they found out that I had factor V. My family went away to New Jersey for the weekend. We had a great weekend. We came home and I had flu-like symptoms. I went to my doctor. When I got into the office, my blood pressure was through the roof. They did an EKG and I didn't do very well with my EKG, and she found a heart murmur. I had no idea, so she was like, I'm quite concerned because you have factor V Leiden and I need you to go to the ER to make sure it's not pulmonary embolism. They did X-rays, CAT scans, and they never found anything. So they sent me home saying it was a virus. 10 days later, I was feeling better, went back to the gym. When I was working out, I could not catch my breath. So I decided to go back to my primary care, and she set up an echo, and that echo tech saved my life. My mitral valve had ruptured, and my heart was already enlarged, and I had severe regurgitation. I just couldn't believe what was happening. We went to the hospital. It was a 15-minute procedure. I woke from the procedure, and the cardiologist had told me that I needed to have open heart surgery.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe it because she seemed so healthy. I was like, what? Something's wrong with your heart.
I was really devastated because I went through triple bypass and they told me what she was going through was much worse.
I was in disbelief. I couldn't understand how someone young and seemingly so healthy would need open heart surgery at 36 years old. We waited to tell the children until a few weeks prior to Lindsay's surgery. It's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do.
One of my favorite things about my mom is that she's really funny.
She's just really loving and makes sure that we're always good.
The hardest part was leaving them the day before my surgery. I sing "You Are My Sunshine" to them every night before they go to bed still. I actually made a video and sang to them and told them that I was going to be okay and I would see them soon. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I love you. My husband took me to the hospital. My parents, my sisters, and my niece all followed behind. We left Sunday before the surgery.
I drove down to the hospital. It was the longest 2.5 hours, 3 hours of my life. We just tried to reminisce and talk about things in the past that we've done, and I didn't know if I'd be coming back alone.
In the surgery, they repaired the valve with an angioplasty ring. They placed a mitral clip on my mitral valve to help with blood clots. I did not see my kids while I was in the city, which was very difficult.
She sent a video that she was okay. She had tubes in her nose, and every time I watched it, I cried.
I came home on day 6, and that was amazing. 3 weeks later, I was fine. I was walking up to 3 miles a day. My family went to Disney not long after. I was able to do all of the parks, and I felt great. When I got back from Disney in October, they took me off of my metoprolol and some other meds, and I started to not be able to form my words. We called my primary care, and he said, you have to go to Albany Med right now. There's a possibility that you could be having mini strokes, and that will follow with a stroke. They did actually find that I had small bleeds on my brain, and he said that is something that happens after open heart surgery. He said there's nothing that you can do about it. It's kind of just time. Today I feel great. I have to thank my husband, my parents, my sisters, my mother-in-law, and my best friends. Those were my closest people that were there whenever I needed them. And then my community. My community has been amazing. I told my story, and I had an outpouring of love and support from everyone. This little village that we live in came together. We have a really awesome community here. When my kids went for their physical this year, both of my kids had echocardiograms and EKGs. Matthew, my youngest, was cleared, and my daughter Addison actually has a very small mitral valve leak, which we would have never known if it wasn't for me. So I feel like that is one step in the right direction. This is why we're here. Be aware of your body. Go get checked. Never think that you're being a burden to your doctors, because you are your biggest advocate, and I am here to pass that along to whoever needs to hear it, and also to pay it forward. I am thankful for the American Heart Association for all of their funding for research that will help people like my father and myself and even my children. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that funding.